Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Sorry.
Thank you, and you?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm happy to see you. All right. Hey, hi, Sergio. Hi, Steph. That's the problem. That was the last one. And so, they got kind of more difficult as we went along. So don't worry. Okay. So we are going to start by, remember how you can kind of just multiply each thing together in a way. So we have, like, think about the commutative property and how with multiplication you can move them around in a different order. So that really helps us here. So we can take 3/5. Let's like rewrite it so that it's easier to do. 5/9. Okay, and then m cubed times m squared times n squared times n cubed. Okay, so we can get to that. Let's multiply these numbers. Okay, what can we do here? I can cancel something out because once we get this, it's going to be 3 times 5 over 5 times 9, right? So think about how we can get rid of these 5s and it makes it easier. So we can put 3/9, right? And then you guys, do you remember what to do with the exponents when you're multiplying? Add them, yes. So then we get m to the what?
5.
5, exactly. Times n also to the 5th, right? Because we have a 2 and a 3 here. So to the 5th. So then we can reduce this. So it would be like 1/3, right? Because 3/9 is 1/3. M to the 5th, n to the 5th. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? So that one is tricky because of the fractions. But otherwise, it's not too bad with like multiplying and combining our terms. Any other questions from the homework? All good. Okay, so can we start out with what we're going to do today, which is multiplying polynomials. So last time we were multiplying maybe kind of like monomials, just monomial to monomial. Like that one we just did was kind of a fancy monomial times a monomial. And so today we have to remember our distributive property. Do you guys remember the distributive property? For example, if I gave you a problem like this, 3 times x plus 7 in parentheses, how can I simplify that?
3x plus 21.
Exactly. So what Anna did is she applied or like multiplied this 3 onto both of these, right, guys? Okay. Has everyone had experience doing that before? What if you got a harder one, like 10x times 4x plus y? Can you multiply the 10x onto everything? And what does that look like? Yes, 40x squared, exactly, because these are two x's multiplied together, plus
10xy.
Excellent. Yep, plus 10xy. Okay, and let's see. I'll do one more. You guys try it while I get ready to do your next harder thing, okay? So I want everyone, hopefully you brought a pencil and paper. Everybody write this one down, okay? 3, let's see, I want to do this one with a negative. So don't forget about negatives and how they affect things. 2x, or negative 2x times 5x squared plus 7x minus 3. Okay, you guys try to simplify that at home, okay, on your paper. Sergio, I see you writing. That's great. So you guys work on that. So what did you guys get for this first term after you combine here?
Negative 10x cubed.
Good. Negative 10x cubed. Did everyone get cubed? Because it's, x times x squared. Then we get another negative here, right? Because we're multiplying this negative 2 to everything. So minus 14x squared. And then what? Our last term? Why is it plus?
Negative and negative.
Exactly. So we have negative 10x cubed minus 14x squared plus 6x. Did everybody get that? Something like it? Smile and nod if you got that. If your microphones are off, then tell me if you got that. Okay, so that's stuff that we hopefully had practiced before, maybe a while ago. So for some of you, it could have been a little bit rusty. But now we're going to practice doing two binomials. So for example, x, let's say x plus 3 times x plus 7, something like that. Okay, guys? And so what we're going to use, there are a few different methods in your book that you could look at if you want to, but I'm going to use the one that you're going to be using as you go forward in math classes, and that we call it FOIL. We use an abbreviation, FOIL, like aluminum foil, except FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. Okay, FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. This is inner, I-N-N-E-R here. Inner. Okay, first, outer, inner, last. What does that mean? It means that we're going to do a special order of things when we multiply this to make it easier. Okay, guys? So this is going to be first. Okay, so that means we're going to multiply the first term by the first term of the other one. So we're going to do like x times x. So let's see. Okay, so that would be x squared. So that's our first. Okay. Then what do you think outer is going to be? It's going to be x times this outer term, okay? So we're going to go x all the way to the 7. Have you guys done this before? So then we're going to get plus 7x. So we go x times x. So you do this special combination where you do this term times the first one here. And you take the same term times the second one, so the outer one, so plus 7x. And then you do inner. So inner is going to be, go back to here to the inner terms. Does that make sense? So then we have plus, so make sure you're looking at the signs, plus 3x. And then finally outer, which means, or sorry, not outer, last. Last, which means you're going to take this 3, the two last terms. Okay, 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so we did first, outer, inner, last. And that's called FOIL. And we'll use that as like a verb. Whenever you get to, another math class, they might say, okay, just FOIL it. Do FOIL or FOIL it. It means multiply it like this. So this one to this one, and then this one and this one. And then we did our FOIL. But sometimes you're going to have, especially when you have like a variable plus a number times a variable plus a number, if these are the same variable, which sometimes they're not, or sometimes you might have a variable here, and then you would be done. But if these were the same variable, then you're going to have to combine like terms here too. Does everyone see that? So to get our final answer, we would have x squared plus 10x plus 21. Okay? Raise your hand if you've ever done this before. Have you ever done this before? No? I'm looking. Okay. Well, we're going to practice several more today, and this is what your homework will be like, okay? So any questions? Any of you, like, what happened? I don't understand. Are you good? Good? Okay. Let's do another one then. Okay, guys? Let's do one, like I was saying, that might, let's see here. Let me see. Here's some with numbers in front. So we might have like 4a plus 9 times 5a minus 2. So this one has a different kind of situation where you have constants in front of your variables, and we have a positive and a negative. Okay, but again, we just combine them in order. So we do 4a times 5a, which is 20a squared, okay? And then 4a times negative 2, so we get negative 8a, plus 9 times 5a. 9 times 5 is what is 9 times 5? 45a, right? No, yes, okay. And minus negative 18. We do 9 times 2, okay? Did everyone stay with me there? But now I need to simplify it one more step. What do I do? What do I do with this?
Subtract.
Yes, you're going to subtract a from 45, right? So what do we get? That's like 37, I think, right? 37a minus 18. Okay, guys? Stuff like that. Can you do that? Do you think you'll be able to do it on the homework? I think you can. Okay, by the way, I'm going to try to post this as a video later. I'm having issues because I have a Chromebook, and for some reason it's not letting me record Zoom. So I'm having little small issues with that. But I'll post this later, and I'll hopefully have sound. The sound is the issue. Okay, so then do you think we need to do one more? Let's do one more like this. I'll go quick though, okay? 5x minus y times 2x minus 7. Notice the difference here. We have a second variable. So when we get done, we don't have to combine like terms because they'll be different. So we're going to go first. So 10x squared outer. Okay, that's 35x minus the inner. So that's minus 2xy or 2yx, either one, plus 7y, because finally we have a negative and a negative. Okay, so 10x squared, wait, did I do this wrong? Minus, my bad, minus 35x, sorry guys, because why was that negative? Because we had 5x times negative 7. So you have to watch your signs, okay? Even I have to watch my signs. Okay, then minus 2xy plus 7y, because we had two negatives. And then that's it, because look, we don't even have any like terms. We have an x squared, we have an x, an xy, and a y. Cool? All right, so moving along to the next thing you have to do, and it's not really using FOIL anymore. FOIL is for your binomial times a binomial. But sometimes you might see a binomial times a trinomial, or even a other polynomial that's even longer. For example, like this one. If you had an x plus 3 times 2x squared minus 5x plus 8. Okay, so it's kind of similar. You're just going to end up kind of distributing this x to everything and then the 3 to everything, okay? So let's do it. We're going to have 2x, so we have x squared here and x regular over here, 2x cubed, okay? Then we get minus 5x squared because we have a 5x here and a x with the negative, okay? Plus 8x. Are we done? No, we're not done. We have to now do the 3 to everything. So we distributed x. Now we're going to distribute 3. Okay. So now we get plus 3 times 2 is 6, and this is x squared, so plus 6x squared. Then minus 3 times 5 is 15, so minus 15x. And then finally, we have a positive 3 and a positive 8. We're going to have plus 24. Okay? Then you need to combine like terms to simplify this, or like to make it more, make more sense. So 2x cubed is first. And remember how we learned last week about degree of polynomials and descending. I told you that standard form is going to be in descending order of the degree. So that's why we always start with like x cubed, x squared, x, and then no x, okay? So 2x cubed, and then what do we have? We have a negative 5x squared and a positive 6x squared. So what does that make? Plus x squared, right? Okay, and then we have a positive 8x and a negative 15x, so we'll have a negative 7x plus 24, right? Double check me, see if that's what you got. Did you guys get that? Okay, let's try another one. And then we might review some stuff for the next unit. Real quick, let me know. So any of you, I know you have your microphones on mute so that I don't hear, like your siblings or your dog barking or whatever. That's cool. That's fine. But if you have any questions, feel free to just unmute and be like, Miss Easy, I don't understand this part. Okay. So anyone not understand? Or yes? Anyone say anything to me and say like, we're doing great, Miss Cece. Keep going. You want to try one? Okay, some people unmute and you tell me the steps, okay? All right, let's see. Jennifer, tell me what I should do first with this.
The y times y squared.
Good. And so that's what?
Y cubed.
Excellent. Okay. Who else maybe has their Sergio? Tell me what to do next.
Minus y7.
Good. Minus y7 y, and they both have a y, so it will be squared, right? Good.
Oh, yes.
Good. Yeah, he's right. So we're distributing like this. Okay, then Luis, tell me about what I can write next.
Plus 2y.
Yes. Excellent. Okay, then let's see who I can ask. How about Nina? Nina, can you tell me what to do next? Can you unmute and tell me? Maybe. Okay. How about Alita? Can you tell me? Can you hear me, Alita?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so tell me what to do next. I'm going to do a minus something. So I already did all these terms, so I have to start with this one next.
-1 minus y squared.
Well, it's going to be -1 times y squared, which is correct. So it's like -1 y squared, but we don't have to write the 1. But yes, good. So it'll be like -1 y squared, but we can take away the 1. Good job. And then let's see. Sergio, again, tell me what should I put next?
And y is plus 2.
Well, we're multiplying this -1 to this 7 here.
Okay, so it's like I don't see screen right now. Is -1 times 7.
Yeah, -1 times -7.
Yes.
Good. So -1 times -7 is positive 7. Well, it's a y, 7y. So positive 7y. And finally, I'll do the last one. -1 times positive 2. We're going to end up with -2. Does that make sense, you guys? So now we have to combine our like terms. I'm going to erase this part. And by the way, I'm going to try to get a whiteboard soon so that we can do a bigger board that I can write on. That might be helpful. Okay, so then finally we need to combine. That was a squared. Okay, so then we end up with y cubed. We have a -7 y squared and a -y squared, so it's going to be -8y squared. Then plus, we're going to combine these two because they both have a regular y, so it's like plus 9y, because 2 and 7. And then finally, just -2. Okay, guys, so it'll be y cubed minus 8y plus 9y minus 2. All right, cool. Any questions? I'm going to give you homework today about this, okay? And by the way, middle school, I forgot to put up, like, because I know you already did your homework, but I'm going to put on Edmodo the homework, so you upload it to get 100 on there, so you can get 100 for your grade, okay? I'll do that later today, I hope.
Wait, Miss Cece,
yes,
question.
yes.
The part about FOIL.
Yes.
Is it has to have like a binomial at the beginning, and then it could be like a binomial, polynomial, polynomial.
Well, it's what it is actually is for FOIL specifically 2 binomials. Okay, so, and then with the other ones, that's a great question. So if you had like, okay, so whenever we did monomials for yesterday's homework, it would be something like this. It would be like, I don't know, something like that, right? So with that one, we don't have to use FOIL. We just end up with like 6x squared, right? And then we practiced today, let's say we had a monomial times, I don't know, a monomial times a binomial. In that case, we were just distributing. Okay, so that wasn't really FOIL at this point. It's like it's like before we learned FOIL, and we don't need FOIL yet because there's only one term here. So then we get x plus xy or yx. Okay, right. So then the next step up from that would have, because we had monomial, 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 binomial, then we get binomial, binomial. So let's say x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay, so then that's when you FOIL. So you would have like x squared plus 2x plus 2x again plus 4. Does that make sense? So that's when we have to FOIL, because that's when we have the first, outer, inner, last.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have the 2. And then with the 3, so let's say it was x plus 2 times x plus y plus 1. I don't know. Then it's like not really FOIL anymore, but you just have to try to keep yourself organized where you're doing this x times each of these terms. You write those down, and then you do the other part of this times each of those terms. You would do the binomial times the trinomial, like just distribute both the parts of the binomial onto each of the terms, even if this was super long. If it was like plus a plus, I don't know, 5x or something weird like that, which it wouldn't, I don't know, let's say 5x squared. So you would just do x times each of these things, and then the 2 times each of these things, and then you simplify. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So from moving forward on after, so once you learn FOIL, it's helpful for just later on understanding to do as many as you need to. Mila's here now. Hello, Mila. So yes, that you just use FOIL for 2 binomials. And then typically you have to combine your like terms depending on what you had. That was a great question. Any other questions? No. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining today, and I'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.